75 children now without their dad. 26 wives whose husbands never came home. In the first half of this year, law enforcement deaths by gunfire spiked by 78%. Tonight, 3 of our own share their story about the day they almost became a statistic. Casey, by all accounts, these men should be dead.
Yeah, Fran, you'll be wondering how anyone could have survived these injuries when you see them. And I want to warn you, this is a very graphic story with disturbing images. Eric Bryan, Steve Lanier, and Mike Fay were almost murdered while on duty. Today, they're watching fellow officers be openly targeted with threats of death and violence. And they feel that the stories and sacrifices of those killed and nearly killed are quickly forgotten.
23, 10, 4, 20 direct. Shots fired, soldiers down. See the EMS to my location.
He was going to ambush the first officer he came in contact with.
Officer down, sending EMS 1018.
I was covered in blood. I mean, blood was squirting out of my neck.
Oh, I should be dead. Yeah. I did die 4 or 5 times on the way to the hospital.
Officer David Blazer.
Officer Timothy
Officer
Kevin
Brent
Smith.
Sergeant Michael Joseph Smith.
Officer Robert David Melton.
Jose Corporal Bill Cooper.
These are not household names,
Officer Stephen Michael
Officer
Smith.
Brent Allen Thompson.
though they died defending someone else's.
Unit 373 is Signal 37. End of watch, January 17th, 2016.
39 men and women shot to death in the line of duty this year. 14 of them murdered in ambush-style attacks.
I can tell you that every one of those officers, if they had a second of life left in them, they had their families on their mind, not dying.
Taking all cars, 1065, this is Kurt Kelly Post Office.
1065 is the code for an armed robbery. I seen this figure of a man jump from the vehicle and run really, really fast towards my vehicle. He shot me through the right side of my nose. It came out and re-entered and came out in front of my left ear. I had blood coming out of my ear, I had it coming out of my nose, I had it coming out of my mouth. He was getting ready to try to finish me off. As I was being shot at, I was thinking, is this how I'm gonna end? Is this how it's got to end for my family? My eyeball completely dropped into the top of my mouth. They're not shooting at you to try to get away, they're shooting to kill you.
And they said that he's stable and seems to be improving.
They put out a call for an armed subject in Houston Moore. I got into a foot chase that night. I went to tase him. Only one of the hooks hit him, so it was useless. And at that point, he turned around and shot me with, I think, a .40 caliber, and hit me in the neck, came down, bounced off the front of my chest, and went out the back of my chest. I took out a taser. I did it because am I going to get scrutiny if I got to shoot this guy? And I ended up paying the price, not him. He's dead because of his actions, but my life's been affected for the rest of my life because I chose not to live under scrutiny, and I almost died because of it.
October the 5th, 2001. We had actually received information that they were going to target law enforcement or law enforcement family if anybody tried to approach them at their residence. As soon as I turn, within about 3 feet in my face, I see a silver revolver and the flash. I remember falling back, hitting the ground. You know, I felt blood rush into my mouth. You know, I couldn't feel my whole right side of my body. My whole body started shutting down.
And we realized that with every heartbeat, blood was coming from his neck.
I saw the look in his face like, I'll see you tomorrow.
For each, emotional wounds have reopened this year with every new line of duty death.
Can I have a minute?
Mourning bands around badges have become a permanent fixture.
There was a certain respect. There's not respect there anymore. We're the ones that they call to come take care of their problem, and then they're the ones that's wanting to shoot us.
Our families can be a target, our friends can be a target. You change the way you live at work and outside of work. I had the conversation with my wife that I've asked her not to wear anything that has to do with law enforcement outside of the house. And it's sad that we have to do that.
You know, when we have an officer that falls to gunfire in our country, it's pathetic. And those people that are pulling the trigger, they're pathetic. And those people that cheer and condone these people, they're pathetic as well.
They count on each other and on the quiet contingent in our area who shows support amid anti-cop sentiment throughout the country. It's in a thank you and a handshake, and sometimes in a surprise receipt that's been taken care of. A simple pay it forward to those willing to take the risk to protect and serve the rest. The Bryan family almost went through this twice. Eric's son followed him into law enforcement. Just this past winter in Elizabethtown, a traffic stop turned into a gunfight. The driver grabbed his gun. Eric's son returned fire. When Eric and his wife got that call, he said time stopped until he heard the words, "Your son wasn't injured." Reporting live in the studio, Casey Roman, WECT News.